right, guys, welcome to Ink and Think.
Where we let people be their authentic selves.
Today we got this rock star, young,
What an intro.
sexy kid.
Oh,
Damien from Young LA.
Damien Hu from Surrey, surprisingly.
No, from Burnaby.
Burnaby, my bad.
basically same thing,
You
right?
see the photos, bro, but like you don't think you're from here. I saw your photo a couple times before, and I was like, another like Young LA influencer out in LA or something like that.
Yeah, just one of those assholes, huh? One of those dicks.
Just one of those people in my
that gets
community.
attention. Another member of the community. Bruh, 200K followers. That's amazing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
How
very
old
much.
are you?
I'm 20.
Dude, 20 years
I'm
old.
20, man.
You know that requires like
This guy
discipline.
can't party in the States. That's why he stays here.
You haven't been to Vegas.
Been to Vegas,
When
you
I was a
can't- you can't
kid,
even
before
drink
I
in
could
LA,
party.
bro.
Jeez.
Legally, I cannot, no.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to LA for like?
Yeah, sometimes we go to LA just because, the first trip I ever took to LA, I thought, this is where I make it or break it, you know? I was like, this is where all the influencers go to get all the cringy videos of them asking people on Rodeo Drive, what do you do for a living and all that.
Yeah.
I was like, this is where I'm going to make my mark. And then I got there and I was like, my mindset, I was like, people are supposed to be different. These are the influencers. I get there, everyone's the fucking same. Not everyone.
Yeah.
Like,
they're
LA has
kind
a...
of like introvert.
I would say the reason that I don't like fuck with LA too much is because one, the hustle culture is so misconstrued there that it's hard to make time and be with people in LA. Like
You're like always on.
that's a benefit. I say that's a benefit, but a lot of people in LA they will only make time for you if you bring a big value to them. So like if it's not just like a friendship value, if it's a monetary value. If it's a friendship value, it's
People
very
don't want to
hard.
help other people as much.
Yeah, but I will say I've met like my best friends ever from LA, so that's a sweet place.
So that's
to be.
good. Yeah.
It's cool.
So what do you mean by that when you say like they'll only talk to you if you bring a monetary value? Like you're saying like people like let's say if we were friends for many years and it's all of a sudden I make millions and millions of dollars, I'm gonna cut off my boy JP.
Oh
type
no,
of
I
thing?
feel like you guys are good guys, but
Yeah.
I think the culture there is just like there's lots of you can say everything's toxic whenever, and I respect it all, but
kind of like
It's godless. It's
yeah,
godless
I would say
in
it's
a way.
it's a cesspool a little bit.
You know, that's the same thing with like Miami and everything too. Is
Yeah.
like people don't have morality there. I think.
Right.
It's like their morals are so fucked up because they're so like rich and famous, glitz and glamour, like influencer type shit,
Yeah.
and nobody has a soul.
I mean, it depends on like the person, right? But I would say for the majority, that's kind of the consensus. I've just met so many people, like, and the first thing they ask me is, "How much money are you making?"
shit.
You know, like, let's
these
go get a
girls?
business dinner. Oh, 100%. Are you
Bro,
kidding me,
girls
man?
are
So
asking
girls
you
are
what's
asking
up.
those questions
Oh
right
my
now.
gosh. But no, they're not asking me to like get with me. They're asking like to one up me. They're like, how much money do you make? I'm like, do I really have to tell you? I make $1,000 per coaching client. I'm like, that's so great for you. And they're telling me about their value and stuff. I'm like, okay, I guess we can't just be friends. You know?
They make it a point to put you under them, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's the LA thing. But there's good people out there. There's always good people.
Let's go back because we skipped ahead. Like we always find something super interesting.
Yeah,
and I think
we
that's
just go off
an
it.
amazingly interesting story for you. Oh shit, it's coming out.
100%.
It's coming out.
out.
See, the thing
Yo,
is,
look
when
at
you
them
guys-
veins, dude.
I'm a social media guy, so when you clip this,
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, "Why are two guys dressed so suave?" And that guy's just an asshole in the corner.
You know, but that's a good
That's okay,
marketing
man.
strategy.
Yeah,
And it's
100%.
it's things like that probably put you in the position where you're at today because you're
You
at a
gotta
good
be
place,
different.
man.
Yeah, you
I'll
gotta-
say I didn't always have this mindset. It only took me recently to be able to like have the confidence to speak my truth.
So let's
talk
dive
about
into
shit
that
like that.
because
Please do.
I saw a reel where you're, and I'm assuming it was you. I don't think it was just some Asian kid that you just fucking decided to choose, but I'm
Yeah.
guessing it was you because it looked a lot like you. You went from chubby to ripped, chubby to ripped, to chubby to ripped a couple of times in your
Okay,
life.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is that? And did I miss it? Did I miss the video, or am I
No, I'll
incorrect? Or
say
is that what it was?
The fitness journey, like fitness has always been like one of the biggest parts of my life.
Yeah.
That's like where all my content revolves around. But my biggest dream is like I want to move away from that just because I see like fitness as the most copy and paste over and over type of content. Like it's the same thing as the guy intros his video. He's at the house. He's taking his pre-workout. He shoots at a couple sponsors and then regurgitates some bullshit, gives a little bit of motivation in his car, hits a workout. And dude, like I can't watch that. I don't even watch social media much. So
Yeah.
that bores me.
I
And
bet when you're in it that much and you're posting that much, like you
You
stop.
see it. Your
you
algorithm
see
is
it,
that
you're-
too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's your strategy? Like what do you go
I could
for?
dive, man. I could dive. So, okay, I have so many theories and concepts about social media, and I have a strong moral sense of like what I will allow myself to do and like what videos I won't allow myself to do. Like, for example, like the typical way that a lot of people do it. Here's like how they do it in fitness, right? You can either have like the godly body and look absolutely amazing and sexy, and it doesn't matter what trends you're gonna do, you are gonna pop off, right? Like
Trend or trends?
Trends, you know.
Trend.
Oh, you could do trend and do trends.
Yeah, there you
if
go.
you're doing trend and doing trends, and you're
That's the
looking
actual
sick,
cheat code.
That's
That's
the
the
cheat
actual
code.
trend and
that's-
trends.
But here's my theory on that. You will never truly make it to the very top in that aspect on content. And this is what, whenever people are asking me, like, how do I build my social? How do I build my social content, whatever? I always tell them, it's not about finding a niche or like being picky about, oh, people are doing this niche. It's about finding a way to present things. Because anything you do in social media, like content, humor, whatever it is, it's always been done in one way or another. However, what hasn't been done is you personally, like you yourself. Nobody can
You're
replicate
not a copy,
you.
yeah. You have your own
Well,
personality.
all it
Exactly.
is like it can be just as simple as something as tonality in someone. Like you can be saying the same thing, the exact same video, but the way you say it, the way you talk to the microphone, the way the language is like what's body language and everything like that.
Tonality, everything.
Everything adds together.
And it's all comes from your personal experiences too, right? Your experiences
Yeah.
are way different than even your brother's, or if you had a brother experience, right?
Single child, but yeah.
Single child?
Yeah, that's probably where all the crazy comes from.
A little bit, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So, okay, taking it back, like it requires. So I have a theory now. I'm thinking this, right? I think that a lot of people who are doing super well online, social, in front of the camera, are super high. Like we're drama kids, creatives,
Yeah.
type like
just
that.
gonna ask them because you've got a lot of like enthusiasm in your voice. I can hear it. And
thank you.
Yeah, I know. And
Did you
it's
take drama?
fucking amazing. I was gonna ask,
Oh.
do you take drama? No. Okay, where does that come
I'll
from?
give you a little story.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So, I actually went to, I don't like to admit it too much because it's a little embarrassing for some people. I went to private school, right?
Yeah.
And it's a school pretty close to here. I'm not gonna dox them or anything, but whenever we went out to parties, meet girls, they'll ask you what school do you go to, and I would never tell them, right? Because I went to an all-boy private school, only dudes, lots of dicks. Got weird. But
sausage
Did you
fest.
even see a girl till you grew up?
I've never talked to a girl to this day.
Nice.
Never.
That's good. You're a man. You're a man of God.
This is the why you're so
100%.
successful, guys. Don't talk to girls.
Don't talk to girls, guys. We'll talk more about that stuff later because I think that theory is a little misconstrued. Like, I think you guys should go talk to girls. I think there's a lot of young men out there that don't know how to even like say hello.
They know how to
a woman.
DM though. They know how to DM.
They know how to DM.
They cannot say hello.
Yeah, and I think
That's
that's
the
that's an important skill that like I would never hate on a guy for not being able to do so because I used to be that guy.
Same.
100%,
Dude,
yeah, dude.
this girl used to wave to me in high school. I'm like, I just look down. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, I don't know what to say, so just look down.
Dude,
right?
I have so many stories about that type of
Man,
shit.
yeah,
I'll run
it's-
you through it. But the one thing that the private school gave me that I will forever be thankful for is two things. Like one, their sports program, because I grew up playing rugby. I was a complete pussy, I'll be honest. When I was younger, I started in like grade 7.
Yeah.
I was god at it because I was so fat, chubby, and I just started working out. I started working out same as
Grade
you
7?
in grade 7, 6,
Yes.
like when I was 11, and I was just bigger than all the other kids, so I dominated. But
Nice.
once everyone got taller
Yeah.
and like knew how to
You're like,
tackle, bro, I didn't want
You
to
got
get
a little bit of leverage
concussion.
when you're down low, though, right?
That's
Just-
true. But I'll be honest, like my coaches, if they ever watched, they'll know I was a pussy. I was a complete pussy. But what school gave me the most value is through the rugby program. It only made me realize it now, because right now I've been on doing like a lot of self-improvement stuff and learning about that for the mental,
Yeah.
is they taught me a lot of truths and wisdom about true masculinity.
Okay, I said it.
And that was the best thing that side, the sports side, gave me. And the other thing is, before all the sports, I was a big drama guy. I still am, man.
Played well.
Yes, dude. Since I was 8 years old, I was in all the drama plays, all the lead roles.
So my theory's
know.
right.
Your theory is
Theory's
100%
pretty
correct.
accurate. So
Dude.
like, when was the first time you were in front of like a camera, like, and just doing something? You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
so-
just doing some type of skit.
So my biggest dream since I was a kid, because I was born in 2002.
Yeah.
My form of watching, instead of TV, I would always watch YouTube.
Right.
And I thought it was so fucking. Can I swear here?
Of course.
Do whatever the fuck you want.
Fucking-
man.
Fucking cool.
Let's just drop a couple of fucking F-bombs just
Fuck,
to
fuck,
make
fuck,
our
fuck,
fucking
fuck,
guests
fuck,
good.
fuck,
Feel
demonetized down,
Fuck.
right? I thought it was so cool that people were sharing their authentic lives through a camera, but I also like the aspect that people were making skits. I love the aspect that you could turn it into a real career.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had the most supportive,
Family.
like-minded, loving parents, and they fully supported me in doing it since I was a kid. But since I was 10 years old, I'll never forget, I just dedicated like my my thought process to one day I will make it so big in the YouTube game.
Manifested it. Fucking at
I
10
don't
years
think
old.
yet. I feel like still I have the mindset that I'm like 1% of where I want to be, and I'm
But a lot of successful people have that. They just can't.
Yeah,
they wanna
I've never
continue.
celebrated a
Yeah.
proper success.
Yeah.
Like until
yeah,
like
I
this
feel
last
that,
year,
man.
Yeah.
man. Like it's hard
It's
when you have
toxic
that
'cause you
drive
wanna-
in you because
yeah.
you know you could still do
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
What's when do you think you'll know that you've made it? Like, is there a number?
I'll be honest, like I feel like, you know, people can say I made it now because I have a fully like I can travel almost anywhere, anytime. I can make videos from my house.
Yeah.
I can like I feel like I've gotten to a point where I can financially like afford to like at 20 years old raise like a family modestly.
Yeah.
But to me, like, I know you guys are big finance bros.
Yeah.
Finance and stuff has never been like my biggest passion. I've always told myself, and I keep up reminding myself every day, like, money is great because it's an asset that I can use to make videos better. That's not the end all be all for me. The end all be all for me personally, it's vain, it's egotistic, it's narcissistic, but I want the fame. I
Yeah,
want the
I
fame
get it.
so bad. I want to build it up so big and like.
But you
bigger
need the
than I can
money,
dream.
right? So like we can
Yeah.
sit there and I genuinely believe you when you say that because I can hear it in your voice. But if you're making money while doing that, don't let society take that away from you as if it's a
100%.
negative. Like, just ride it because you're doing it, and the reason you're making money is because you're doing what you love.
Yeah, and
You're
I would
doing
say
it.
I would say I made it when I have an abundance of assets that I can like change people's lives.
Yeah.
You know, I love philanthropy.
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 Yeah,
I think it's sick. Genuinely, like when I watch that type of content, that's the stuff I grew up on. Like that fires me up the most. Cool. Just recently, I did my first like cash giveaway, and we did a YouTube video. We went to one of the local colleges here, and like we found a struggling student, and we gave him
$5,000, right?
Yeah, we gave him $5,000, and
Yeah, that's fucking sick, bro.
dude, for me that was that like almost changed my life.
Dude,
That was
Where
a big
you
talking-
get chills. I bet you got chills and you wanted to tear up.
Oh, 100%. I went home and like I was
Yeah,
almost
man.
bawling my eyes. It made me so happy.
I know the feeling. I haven't done it at that level, that extreme level. Sorry, but I know the feeling of just like helping someone and like seeing their face and like changes their lives.
That's one of the
It is
reasons we
so
really even
fucking-
started the podcast,
Yeah.
right? Like the amount of people that has been helped through it, like the messages we get is so crazy. And today I know especially like you're gonna touch so many people. So thank you again for fucking being here. Dude.
I hope, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. We will, for
appreciate it
sure.
again.
genuinely, like recently I found probably one of my biggest purposes, because it's on the path I'm on right now.
Yeah.
Like I've started to find a lot of things very degenerate, and like the content I make is extremely degenerate.
Degenerate.
Oh my
But
god,
it's funny as fuck, bro.
Oh, it's nasty.
I
it's
saw you making
dirty.
pizza, so
Yeah,
That was
it's
funny.
nasty. It's dirty. It's inappropriate. But
What does your mom say about it?
oh no, she loves everything I do.
Awesome, man.
She's
Very supportive.
She's never really treated me like her son, or she's my mother. We've always like been friends, which some people would say like that's not a good relationship, and I've definitely felt the repercussions of having parents that were just, I would say, overly kind and overly supportive.
Yeah.
But just through like a lot of self-improvement things, I've learned to try to develop myself more into a man and not have to rely back onto that.
So at the young age of 10 years old, you're like, okay, I want to be a YouTube star.
Yeah.
And you're in drama and things like that. And so when did you start producing videos?
Okay, the first video I'll tell you right now, it got deleted off of YouTube. Because
How degenerate was it, bro?
Well, I think I lost the email. I've been trying to find it for 7 years now.
Jeez.
But I was 13, and it was called Asian Bling, a parody of Hotline Bling, Drake's Hotline Bling.
Yeah, yeah.
And man, this thing was my first viral video. I'll never forget. It got 10,000 views.
Nice.
This
It
is your
was-
first video?
Yeah, I made the whole thing on Snapchat.
Holy shit! Your first video got that many though. That's insane.
That was my first one ever as a kid. Yeah.
Okay.
I've always recorded things, and like for all my high school friends,
Yeah.
I don't think they'll ever watch any of my stuff. But for my close high school friends I knew like from very early on, since I think grade 7 or 8, I would vlog my entire day on Snapchat. For nobody but like 26 people.
Yeah.
It always started with, "What is up, beautiful Snapchat people?" And then
Nice,
I went on
nice.
vlogging my day, talking about my thoughts, and
So you were doing this
That's-
shit before he was even cool.
it's still not cool.
He basically started it.
No, but
Yeah.
I think it's cool now. I think people see influencers and they're like, you know what? I want to be like that now because that person has a personality and is himself.
True.
And authentic, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like it's become a lot cooler than it was when, hand clap dances were
You know-
around and like crazy weird shit, right?
The original TikTok 2020, I guess it was, right?
Vine.
But bro, man, the fucking thing is, the sickest thing is his energy is the same through the camera and in real life. Like, you know, a lot of people are like shut down and like it's a different energy. Like people that have hundreds of thousands of followers and they can't have a conversation. Like you're not like that, man. It's the drama.
It's the drama. It's always just been in me.
Yeah,
but
man.
yeah, after that first video, my school found out about it. They threatened me to take it down because it was super racist to Asian people.
The Matrix.
Oh, the Matrix. Yes, the Matrix is coming for us all. But I semi-believe in that stuff. Like, I really like, I think it's hilarious. I love how Andrew Tate markets himself. I think it's fucking amazing.
What do you think about
marketing.
what do you think about the jail situation?
Personally, so I don't have enough education on it. That's the thing that you got to say so you don't get in trouble. But no, genuinely, I don't know enough about it. Like, he honestly helped me so much.
Yeah.
Like, going through shit.
He's helped both of us too, man.
So much, man.
So what are you talking about? What
I think he opened my eyes to masculinity.
Yeah.
I think as a kid, up till probably like 2 months ago, I had a very low little concept of masculinity. You know how like a lot of people, especially in like the dating world, will talk about the pills, right? Like the red pill, the blue pill, the black pill. There's all these different types of like pills, and that basically determines what type of person you are when it comes to dating. Have you guys heard of that stuff? Yeah, of course. So like the red pill is more like the alpha masculine sigma male guy. The blue pill is the guy who's stuck in a complete fantasy, learning from Disney movies. You know, like treat every woman when you first meet them like a complete princess, buy them flowers on the first date. Yeah. And that will end in beautiful marriage. And the black pill guys are like, I'm under 6 foot. No woman will ever talk to me. I might as well jump off a bridge. Yeah. Well, I think like because Andrew Tate had such an impact on the world, just the way he marketed himself, it helped me so much, opening my eyes to start my path of learning about self-improvement and learning about masculinity. And I think now I've gotten to a healthy point where the level of toxicity in it is not derogatory toward other people, and it's all a lot of love. I'll say I've gotten to a spiritual high right now where it's all a lot of love.
Did you feel like you were more of the black pill type of guy originally?
Never. I don't think I've ever been a black pill type of guy. And like, honestly, I'll say now, if you're a black pill type of guy, I don't want to say there's no hope for you, but it is so disgusting. It is unattractive. It is disgusting. Like
I'm sure it can change. If you're a black pill type of guy and you're very pessimistic and you're thinking all these thoughts, I'm like, you got to get in the right room. You got to be in the right environment for you to be reprogrammed. Right?
Because at the end of the day, it's
reprogrammed.
It's reprogrammed. No, so I say programming. I've said it in the past, but basically, kids are programmed until the age of 7.
Oh, 100%.
That's how their brain is function. Yeah.
I love that shit. I love that.
Yeah. So that's basically the after 7, the brain changes up, and in layman's terms, I'm gonna be like, okay, brain changes up, and in order to change the programming, the thought process, it's gotta be a change of pattern, which has to be repetitive or a traumatic event. 100%. So something that'll be like, holy shit, this needs to change.
Yeah, and
so it can be two ways, or hypnosis, I think, is the third way, right?
I don't know. Many people are gonna take the hypnosis route, but yeah, both happened to me. The traumatic event plus just like a consistent dedication to a change of pattern and like research and learning. I think like to anyone who's an entrepreneur, anyone who's trying to like level up in something that is their passion, I think that the best thing is just like learning a lot of knowledge, diving into research and trying to find what you see as your truth, right?
And what you resonate with, because there's so much out there, and you don't have to do it the same way Damien's doing it. You don't have to do it the same way we're doing it. It's just got to figure out who you want to be like,
100%,
and just follow what they're doing.
Okay, well, I'll throw you back to the story because I'll just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
So I made that video. You know, it was a little raunchy and racist. I'm Asian, so I can make it. It's funny. I thought it was hilarious. And then the first YouTube video I ever truly produced and made myself was I just started my like powerlifting career. Not a real sport, guys. Absolutely not.
Oh shit.
Oh dude.
Hold on. Powerlifting isn't a real sport?
Oh, powerlifting. Come on,
I feel personally attacked, but no, it's okay. Keep going.
You never powerlift, bro. You maintain in the gym now.
Now I do, but I bench heavy, man. Back in my day, I bench 405.
This guy's the old man that just talks about when he used to bench and shit.
You've seen it. You've seen me bench 3.
There's a video.
No, you see me in real life bench 3. Man, let the guys talk.
Fair enough. Okay, finish the story.
I'll fucking beat you up later.
Powerlifters are gonna be angry, man. Jay's in the back. He's like, fucking what am I doing here, right? Fuck. You just pissed him off.
Jason's got a powerlifting body, though.
Oh my god, you just fucked him, man. Are you kidding? That's brutal.
No, he can powerlift, man. His frame is designed for it. He's got a big frame, big ass legs. He's got a big frame, big legs.
Just stop.
Bro invites you to his house and you just have to absolutely shit on him like that. Come on.
Bro, just
Alright,
continue.
alright,
So
let's
okay,
go.
powerlifting.
So
not a
powerlifting's
sport.
not a real sport. Come on, guys. I say that because I'm a powerlifter. I compete in it. I think it's fun. It's a great hobby. But legally, it's not a sport. So it's not a sport.
Why do you
Maybe
say
one
that?
day.
Because of the diet and stuff.
No, I say that because it's as definition. It's not a sport. It's not in the Olympics. It's just not a sport. Maybe one day, hopefully.
The strongman's pretty much the same thing, right?
I don't know. I think strong. Well, they have like a World Games.
Yeah.
But it's called Games. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I haven't researched that.
Games.
Games.
I don't know.
Olympics.
It's
But
demoted
anyways,
to
go,
games.
go.
I respect strongman more than powerlifting for sure. You gotta have some good cardio, right? I don't care if you're fat and whatever. It looks sick. So yeah, the first YouTube video I ever made, it was just after I broke up with my high school girlfriend. And I was so bored. Genuinely, like, man, I thought I had like when I was younger, I thought I had like a detachment from love, because like this girl was one of the sweetest. No, she was one of the sweetest, most genuine women I've ever met in my life. Like, she dedicated, like, we were only 16 and she dedicated so much time to me and like gave me really good healing energy, and she was a really good person. Like, her soul, I could just tell, like, she was a good person. But I think at the time I was just so ignorant and like I was such an egotistic asshole, man. I regret it to this day, and it's through other experience that when this shit like happened to me that I realized how bad I fucked her up. Yeah, but I basically, so I think we dated for, I think it was like 6 or 8 months, and I ghosted her for like 4 or 5 of those months.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
What led you to do that?
I lost attraction to her. I was young. I was a complete virgin. All I wanted was sex. All I wanted was to have the label of having a girlfriend, right? And
But you weren't attracted to her.
Initially, I think I was attracted.
I think
to
you
her,
got
but
bored.
No, I think you.
I got bored. Yeah.
You got bored.
Or
of her.
you were telling yourself. I've done that. I did it when I was like 12.
But also,
Okay,
if you've
fair.
only ever been with one girl, obviously you're gonna be curious, right? As well.
Yeah. Well, at that time, that was the first commitment I've made to a girl.
Okay. But you weren't a virgin.
No, at the time, 16 I was. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was a virgin at 16.
Okay.
So I made I committed to her. She was my girlfriend, and I ghosted her for like 4 or 5 months. And at the time, I was like, "Oh, this is what guys do." I'm like, "Come on!" Like, she would text me like almost every second night, like, "Hey, would you like? I could come over to your place." And she lived in Surrey. I lived in Burnaby, so she was like a 40. She was in White Rock.
Yeah,
It was like a 45-minute away, man.
And she was down to come. all
She
the
was
time.
down. She had no car. This was before we had our licenses.
She was just gonna bus
she would
it.
just bus over every single time,
Whoa.
That's a
just
lot
to
of-
give me good energy, and I would deny it every single time. And it got to a point where I just make the worst excuses. Oh, Grandpa's coming over for dinner. Like, Grandpa's coming over for dinner. Yeah, he doesn't have much time left. Grandpa's coming over for dinner. And like, eventually, I think we mutually split. It was more like if I was in her position, I would have came over and my husband beat my ass. Like, I was a dick.
But it's good that you acknowledge that you regret that.
Oh, I regret it so much.
Did you have you talked to her since?
No, I haven't talked to her since I was 17. I don't think
Well,
she would want
if she
to.
sees
Yeah,
this,
if
you
she
can just say
sees it.
sorry now.
Oh,
be like,
I
"You're a different
apologize
man."
from the bottom of
Yeah.
my heart, man. Like, having that like done to me by other women, like, I know how it feels, man. Like,
Are you single right now?
right now, yeah.
You should hit her up.
No. Only,
don't think I can hit
only
her
for the
up.
right reasons. Only.
I don't
if you
think I'm
wanna
attracted to her right now
Only
either,
if you.
Okay.
Oh shit! Now she's gonna know that part. But
That's okay.
But that's okay, man. Just I think reach out to her if you just want to say sorry in real life. Just in case
I
she
don't
listens.
know. Would you
That's a
want to
good one.
open that can of worms? I'll
No,
tell you
I mean,
something I did.
I'll be honest, we weren't that close, so I think it'd be completely weird for her. But if I saw her in person,
Right.
like, I feel like I'd have the due diligence. Like, I need to just like ask her what's up, and then
Just be like, hey, I
Tell
was a
her.
dick back then, and
oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, go ahead.
forgot what you were gonna say.
Yeah, I forgot. I got so interested. I'm like, how are we gonna make them meet up? And like, how are they gonna be like
No, you did.
forever?
You said that you were in that position before.
Dude, podcast with an ex-girlfriend is a great title. That would pop on
Fuck yeah.
YouTube. Fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
Actually,
should
we
do
brought
it?
her here today.
Yo,
She's
let's
coming
go!
out.
Should we do
Wow,
it? one
she's
day?
stunning.
Dude,
now.
should we? We should. Do you think that would be mean if we did like had a podcast and brought their ex in? Like we'd tell
Yeah,
them.
they might hate you, but like honestly, it'll level up your social game. If your morals can, if it's
No,
part of
we
your
tell
morals,
them, though.
Oh, I don't think it's that mean.
Like
I would do it
Maury
one day.
shit. Like we might have a
Yeah.
fucking fight. We'd get a bodyguard and stuff.
Yeah, I have a couple
like
ex girlfriends I would love to have on a podcast. Like
Yeah?
once I started up, I think that's
It'd be
that's
like
such
the
a good,
good,
topic.
the bad, the ugly.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
And the
I
truth.
think it's great.
I would
think
ask
it's
her.
great.
I would ask her I would ask some fucked up questions though.
I probably would too.
Wow.
Like, I
Imagine.
would too.
Like, what? Oh my god. That would take some confidence.
So
man.
fuck. Okay.
So yeah, I got bored. We broke up, and I was bored. I was like, oh, what am I gonna do with my time? Ha.
And this was your second YouTube video.
This is my second YouTube video I ever posted. The first one was just an edit my friend made.
Right.
And man, it was the most fulfilling, rewarding feeling of my life to start this journey. And I'll tell you, for 2 years, I would record for a day straight, edit for 10 to 50 hours. I had so much passion in making videos and no concept of how to monetize it.
Yeah.
The videos that I'd pour the most hours and passion into were the videos of me doing the powerlifting competitions.
Yeah.
And I would turn it into, like, in my mind, I was making a movie. I love that phrase. It's a movie, bro. Every single frame of this 50-minute video had to be perfect to me.
Right.
It had to be like,
And
the
you were
color.
editing yourself too, right?
I was editing it fully myself. Like,
How'd you learn all this? Did you just YouTube it?
I think when you love something, you will just research.
just, like,
Almost
get
everything I've
obsessed.
ever learned has been online through
Online.
YouTube and through
Sick.
other people.
Yeah.
See,
School has
that's
taught me
what's
not
so
much.
possible right now. Like kids have so much of an
Yeah.
opportunity. Is like the internet can teach you anything.
Bro, I had
Anything.
like when I was your age, fuck, I had encyclopedia books, bro, like A to B.
See
C
how
to
he
D.
ages himself?
It's all
He
good.
always ages
When
himself.
I was your age,
I know.
know.
He probably
Back in
take
my
take a
youth.
guess.
How old do you think he
Uh,
is?
26.
Nice. I'm 35.
Oh wow,
No cap.
you're a handsome guy for
no
35,
cap. It's the
man.
lighting. Thanks, Epi. Thanks, my guy.
35-year-olds bringing a 20-year-old on.
This
This
That's the
podcast
title.
needs to-
That's the title of the
Yeah.
podcast.
35-year-old, 25.
Hey, I'm the buffer. I'm
Honestly,
26.
like a social media thing I want to try out is just title every single YouTube video like a dirty, raunchy porn title.
I
Like,
think
you could
people will
title
click.
this one
It'll
like
get
You
the
have to
clickbait.
be careful though. You have to not get demonetized with certain.
all my videos are demonetized. I don't care.
Are they?
Yeah.
So how do you make money?
Through my e-com and sponsorships, mainly the e-com.
You're not. I was just gonna ask you, like, why?
Why don't I monetize it?
Yeah, why aren't you?
Because I care
monetizing
more
it?
about putting the music I like in and the passion and like the swearing.
But
Like,
that's a way to do it too, because you build the following, and then that'll still help the other businesses.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
What e-commerce do you do?
so I sell online fitness programs like that guy. But okay, we'll get into that. This actually the story's about to tie in. So yeah.
See, we always get off topic.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know. That's me too. I'm a super off-topic guy, but so yeah, 2 years of making these YouTube videos every single I post 3 times a week. I make these little series. Like the first one ever was like my series of gaining weight and getting stronger, and I like hours and hours and hours, and only like 100 people would watch, just my classmates, and I get like 5 comments. But I just loved making them. That I felt like I had this duty to make these videos.
Yeah.
And 2 years later, and it was all because I was like, holy fuck. I was like, it's because I went to LA. I was like, yo, I can't, like,
How old were you when you were in LA?
the first time I went, I think I was 19.
Okay.
But yeah, so last year,
Mhm.
20, yeah, it was when I just turned 19, it was 2021, like summer 2021. But it made me just draw a new passion to learning how to video create and edit and play like the YouTube game. Cause like, you can't just post, not podcast related, but you can't just post a vlog nowadays. YouTube is like, we can get into that later, but it's a whole like dynamic. The game of YouTube, it's cyclical. Like it goes through these different stages, and you have to pander toward what is working
At that time.
right? But anyways, 2 years of making these videos, I started doing better, and then the videos started like doing really well. I met my producer Humphrey, who's also my cameraman, and he leveled me the fuck up in terms of my YouTube game. And
Nice.
he's like my right hand man. Like the first time I ever met him is he came into the gym. And I've known him for like 4 years there, very on and off. I just see him once in a while. At the time he was a skinny guy. Now he's got big broad shoulders. He's handsome. He's jacked. It's beautiful. But he came in and said, "Hey, I was just wondering if you're looking for a camera guy." But my ego was so high at the time. I said, "No, I record them myself. I don't need this. I don't need an editor. I edit myself." And he said to me, "I watched your last video, and the last video I made was the first one. Now it's one of my highest viewed videos, but at the time it didn't do so well, and I put so many hours and money into it. And I thought the edit was just fucking immaculate." And he said, "It's shit." And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And because he was so different,
You got your attention.
he got my attention. Smart guy. And I'll tell you, this is how I knew he was my guy. So I had planned this video to record one of my powerlifting competitions that I've been hyping up on Instagram. And he came over to my house and to help me like plan it out. And the first thing he did, he brought his little iPad. It was so cute. And he opened it up and it said, "Hey, did you ever watch Avengers Endgame?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Or did you ever watch Avengers Infinity War?" I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Well, I'm going to be honest. All this fitness stuff is boring as fuck." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "So let's frame it like this. You are the hero, and you have to pick one person that you're going against in this lifting thing. And that's the villain. And how did they introduce Thanos in Avengers Infinity War?" And I'm like, wow, this guy just made everything click to me. He made me realize, like, if you're not the biggest guy in the gym, like you're not like Chris Bumstead, like the biggest bodybuilder, if you're just making videos, you might get really far, but you'll never reach the top, right? So how do you reach the top? And it's all framing. And he taught me a whole new frame of framing my fitness videos into now there's stories, there's comedy. Like we the way we script out videos now, it's like we script it out like it's a movie. Like we'll have like a hook, an intro, an A plot, a B plot, a climax, a conflict, a denouement, an ending. And he really put storytelling into something that was boring. And that's what I love so much about making the videos that I make right now is it's such a boring concept. It is so boring to watch someone try to bench press 4 plates. Yeah. It's like, who the fuck wants to watch that? But if you frame it in a way that's different and that's unique and that you are passionate about and you like, and you can use your assets, like my asset was the acting, like the theater and the script writing, that's how you're going to succeed.
That with a little bit of muscle and
mix that with just a little bit of muscle.
And now you're benching 4 plates, boys.
Yeah, exactly. And so to bring it back into the finance stuff, this is the story that I'll tell any young entrepreneur trying to make it, like someone trying to make their first $1,000 a month or something like that. We like to talk about finances here. I'm cool with talking.
That's
what
that's
one of our biggest things.
Yes. Okay, sweet.
I want to dive into how you got the 200K following.
Great.
And let's dive into finances a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, carry on.
So this was at the time I had like 50,000 followers this was 10,000 followers on Instagram, 0 followers on YouTube. And I'll say for social media, and this is my moral and my mindset, every single time I focus my attention on the content and not on making money, I make the most money and I have the most fun and I'm the most fulfilled and the most passion driven. And anytime I'm focusing on just money, and there has to be a balance. Yeah. But if it's just money, I make the least money.
It's usually the case.
Drops.
Yeah.
It's usually the case, right? Like it's like, as any big business guy would say, you have to provide the value. It's providing the value and giving that will draw you wealth. Yeah. Right? You can make money you can make money trying to make money, but if you tried to provide value, you're going to make wealth.
That's what's going to attract money.
Yeah, exactly.
How did you learn that?
Just trial and error?
Just trial and error, and I have an amazing marketing team behind me. Their name is Flax Marketing. You guys can cut that if you don't like to shout other people out. But this is this kind of ties into the story, but
that's a fucked up noise, guys.
That's a crazy car.
Lightning. No, I think that's lightning.
One of my good buddies, his name is Zach Oldham. He's the head of Flax Marketing in Vancouver. And we both, so he didn't go to college because at the end of high school, we're the same age. Yeah. I can't speak too much on his story because I don't want to get it wrong, but he went and started an online marketing company, and seeing this guy and his goals, like if you ask him nowadays, like, where do you want your company to go? He's like, one day we're going to build time machines. I'm like, at first I'm like, oh, okay. But now just seeing how driven this guy is and like what he's accumulated from his business at just 20 years old, I fully believe he will change the world. Maybe not time machines, but he can go to Mars.
But that's what Elon probably said too, right?
Yeah,
he was
100%.
probably the same way.
I really see this guy like that.
That's amazing.
This guy will be the new Elon. But he drove me into the money aspect. He taught me a lot.
Okay. The money. So there was something that was said before, the whole traumatic situation and stuff like that. Can we quickly touch on that?
Sure. Do you want me to do the money part first or do that? I don't mind.
Let's do.
I love it all.
Let's do the money part first.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll jump back to the trauma. We'll talk about your parents and stuff because I want to know who influenced you. Yeah. Like, you must have great parents because something along the lines, you're very, very young and you got a old mindset in a sense of like a
mature
smart,
mindset. We'll say mature mindset.
I don't know about that. If people just watch my videos, they'll think I'm like 12.
No.
But yeah, I think I'm 12.
The shit you're talking about, like you're 10 years ahead. Basically.
Thank you very much.
But that's probably because you started when you were 10. when I was still riding my bike playing basketball, you're thinking about YouTube videos and things like that.
Yeah, I was
your
also
passion, right?
busting it to the most raunchy porn.
Of
I was a dirty
course,
dog.
of course.
So
So
very degen.
let's jump into
The finance real quick?
Into finances
Yeah,
real
sure.
quick, man. Like, yeah.
I made my first product when I was at 3,000 followers. That's when I dropped out of college. I went to school for
30,000?
3.
3,000.
3,000 followers.
3,000. I dropped out of college. That's if you have
I'm dropping out
3,000
of college at
followers.
3,000,
Yeah.
Elvin.
Let's
If you have 3,000 followers and you're in college, drop out. It'll change your life. I made my first product, and my friend Zach, who was just starting his marketing agency, helped me like develop and launch it. And it was a subscription-based programming, as all the fitness guys do, right? Yeah. But these guys were like, so many people were pumping hope into my brain. They were like, okay, you have 3,000 followers, 10% of people buy it. That's 300 people. This is a $20 product. It's a subscription per month. Man, you're gonna be rich. And then you take that money, you put it back into ads. The first $6,000 turns into $12,000, turns into $10 million, and I genuinely I believed it. I really believed it, right?
It does work. But
And I did. So I launched this product. I developed it for a while. Back in the day, all my digital products I did fully myself, and it was just such a stupid ego pride thing. Like now, no, you got to delegate work. And when I launched it, man, at 3,000 followers, I got 3 purchases. Me, my marketing team to test it, and my mom. Shout out,
That's
Mom!
enthusiasm, bro.
Fuck yeah, brother.
I fucking saw that coming. I'm like, 'cause
Yeah,
the way
I know,
the
right?
build-up was, I'm like, he's gonna try to play us right now.
Yeah.
Because it's either gonna be fucking 3,000 followers and fucking 1,000 purchases, or fucking 3 purchases. I saw that happening.
Great turnaround.
How disappointed were you?
Not too disappointed, because this is the story of, like, I'll tell this thing to my grandkids. One day when I make it huge, this is my favorite story of like how I started, like with the finance side, is I had this idea. Because I started that drove me, right? Because I was like, oh my God, I made $60. That's pretty great, but I'm putting in so much work and time and love and passion into this.
That's entrepreneurship, bro.
Yeah, I was like, I hope I make more than 60. Yeah. I said, I buckled down and I had this one idea that I drafted out, and it was an idea to make a cookbook. And it was because all these fitness guys, and at the time I was really into like the eating healthy, and one of my good buddies who was a bodybuilder was all about eating like the super high volume, low calorie foods. And I started researching into what cookbooks were on the market. And then I said, okay, what these guys have out there. So one of the most famous cookbooks is called the Greg Doucette cookbook. He's a big fitness guy. He has like almost 2 million followers on YouTube. He pumps out like informational video with like a very characteristical twist on it. And his cookbook was like $300. And I had like, I think maybe like 80 recipes. He'll probably get mad at me if I'm wrong. And I said, I'm going to do what all these guys are doing, but the opposite. So my cookbook is going to be $10. I'm going to have 150 recipes plus, when I grew up, and this is why I think in business you got to use your experience, right, especially for social media. When I grew up, all the kids wanted to gain weight. Nobody wanted to lose weight. All these books were about losing weight. I was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make every single recipe have a high calorie and a low calorie version, so you can pick.
Yeah, okay, sick.
Yeah, and I was
hold on. You had 2 recipes?
I had, for every single recipe in the book, there's 2 versions, a high calorie and a low recipe.
So your 150 recipes were they just 75 recipes then?
No, yeah, just 75.
It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
You just fucking
so you can market it as 150.
Fucking 150.
And I make new ones every single week now because it's part of the job. So there's probably
fucking brilliant, bro. I like
200
that.
something. And I worked on this, man, every single day. And I don't know what drove me, but there's something inside me that told me every single day that this is going to be my product. This is going to win. So every single day for at least 6 to 10 hours a day, I would go home, draft up a new recipe idea, test the recipe, burn down the kitchen. My mom would be screaming at me. I would try it. I would write it down. And then finally, I had all these recipes, all these 75 recipes, 150. And I took all the money I made from, I did one-on-one coaching, like online coaching. Over the past 2 years, it was $10,000. And I put all my eggs into this one basket.
Fucking bet on yourself, bro.
I bet on myself, and
fucking
thank God I did, because I hired a editor. I hired a videographer just for this one project. I rented out an Airbnb. That was probably a stupid decision. I could have done it at home for free. Just to make.
Sometimes you think you need to do the most, though, right?
Yeah,
So
that's what I thought. I think this product I did the most ever, and it was because I wanted not only there to be more value in terms of like how cheap it was, but I also wanted because my personality comes through videos.
Yeah.
I did not have to do this. I don't regret doing this, but I did not have to do this. But every single recipe has a video attached to it teaching you how to make it. And
Whoa, that's a lot of hours.
oh yeah, the script writing of that was a lot. So what we did was we rented the Airbnb for 5 days. We got there. We very much overestimated ourselves, and every single night it was me, my videographer at the time, and one of my best friends, Tom. Shout out Tom.
What's up, Tom?
Shout out Tom. He's such a homie, man. This guy didn't ask for any money to do it or anything. He was just there to support me.
Support, man.
I'll dedicate everything to this guy when I get older.
dope,
Like
man.
he's a great guy. And we worked for 22 hours a day, 2 hours of sleep, 5 days in a row. We were dead. We'd go out in the morning, get the groceries so they were fresh for 2 hours, come back and immediately start filming, taking the thumbnails for every single video.
Jeez.
Oh, and the cooking process was the hardest. I remember we got we got burns on our hands because some
hours
Cooking all
sleep.
day, yeah.
yeah, we're cooking all day, and there was this idiot in our group who accidentally replaced the dish soap with conditioner.
Conditioner
Yeah, I was-
or fucking liquid soap?
I replaced the liquid soap with conditioner. I was an idiot. I was so sleep deprived. I was like, oh, we're out of soap. Fuck. And I took it from the bathroom. And I was washing my hands with conditioner, and they just started peeling and burning. And anyways, by the end of this like 100-hour work week, it wasn't even done. We had 28 days. I set a deadline to have this released in 28 days. So the videographer went off, and he edited for 9 hours a day, and I went off and I spent 10 hours a day putting all the recipes and the videos into a PDF, right? And like learning the marketing, and it was more days of no sleep.
Oh man.
And then, yeah, I think that was the hardest I've worked in my life. As much as I love the Sigma grind set, I think it's not about it being toxic. Like, that was just genuinely stupid. Like, I could have planned it better. But after all that work, I had 13,000 followers, and I was hyping this up for like months. And then finally, when I released it, so people were still feeding me that stuff, like, you know, if you release a $10 product, you know, 10% of your audience buys it, like you get $13,000 back, or $3K up on your investment.
Yeah.
You take that money back into ads. Oh, my $1 million, right?
Yeah.
I made $1,000 on the first day. I was expecting to make like 10K. I made $1,000.
You
I was
dumped 10K into it.
yeah. I was genuinely happy because I was like, it's out.
How many products was that?
That was the.
How many books was that?
It was just one
The
cookbook.
one book with the.
Oh,
150
How many
recipes.
books made $1,000 bucks?
Like 100.
Okay, so
'cause
you
it
got
was $10.
100 people in
100
one
people to
day.
buy it.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
that was
good. That's
really
fucking
cool.
really good.
That was cool.
Yeah.
But you were expecting 10K. It's fair enough. The money didn't
Yeah.
line up with the quantity sold.
No.
Yeah.
I was expecting more quantity sold. That's
Right.
really what I was expecting. And then people were telling me, dude, you got to raise the price. There's so much value in this. And I just stuck to my moral at the time. Like, no. Like, I don't have the followers that these guys have. I want people to buy this product and go, what the fuck? How did I only pay this amount of money for
and
this
then refer
much?
it, yeah.
I want the big guys with the $300 cookbooks to buy my cookbook, or to just get it shoved in their face going, I'm buying this guy's book because it's so much cheaper, it's better.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much ego in it. So for the first year, the book never made more than $2,000 every single month. But I still had so much belief in it. And then finally, it was just this one instance when my IG started picking up, because I started moving to like this comedic series. It's the thing you were referencing with the, you know, playing this character of the old guy
at the gym.
And out of his prime. I was like, holy shit, this series is doing really well. I'm going to use this character that I created and market my cookbook videos. So I took that character and he started cooking the recipes.
That's genius.
And then, what do you know? Finally, for the first time, it was January 2022. I remember we celebrated Blue Water Cafe because we saw our first $10,000.
Nice.
And that was so beautiful.
In one day.
No, 10,000 in the first month.
Oh, the
After
first month.
making no more than like 2K a month.
Shit, that's insane.
And I was just starting, and I was so happy, and it
That was just last January.
it proved to me. And then over the course of the year, I launched more products. That's still my winning product.
Yeah.
And we've marketed it differently. We've split the book into 3 versions. You can get the full bundle or just the gaining weight, losing weight, blah, blah, blah. And it has provided me just so much.
Fucking
Just
solid.
from this $10 book.
And remember what we said in the beginning, it was about the tonality, the character, and how you sell that product, right? Like, yeah, you said the fitness space, like the fitness influencers and all that, it's all boring, it's the same thing, but it's a
The
different
most.
twist. It's the
Yeah.
most, right? And that's what I mean, right? I'm trying to paraphrase what you said, but essentially you brought in the character, and it's just different tonality, different view, different delivery, and it fucking changed the game. That's all it is.
Yeah.
The product is fine. It's just how you're delivering it.
Exactly. That's why I think presentation for videos is everything.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's not that if I could, but when I do cut down and I look sick, and maybe if I hopped on so much trend, would I leverage my body? For sure. But I've always just morally, I would never make my content, it's about the body. Like, I take pride in my content is coming from my mind, not from how I look.
Yeah, because that's the other thing I was gonna say is like stepping into that scene a little bit more. Even for us, like we're new at this whole game, and it's gonna work in a different way. Some gym, but like mostly real estate content and things like that. You don't want to lose yourself in like, oh, because we have tats or because we go to the gym, and like people don't really think of you as a person, right? Did you have to overcome that? Like, how did you know to overcome that right away? Because you
probably, I'm gonna be honest, like almost never. I've never had the mindset that I was like different because I went to the gym, because it was just so ingrained in me since I was young.
Yeah.
And I think the culture that I grew up, it was never that toxic to people in the gym. Like, everyone really respected the fact that I worked out.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because I was short as fuck and they thought like, oh, okay, this guy needs to get the advantage, right? No, I never really had too much hate for being on the gym self-improvement. I think it's been great. But I will say, if you are someone who's very muscular and stuff, and you want to prove that you can do things that aren't just meathead activities, just leverage your mind. Yeah. Just your actions will show 100%. Your greatness. Yeah.
And work on your mind too, because that's 100%. The other thing that you
self-help
said you did.
and self-improvement.
What was your first dive into self-development? Like, what did you do?
I think as a kid, especially when I was like 11, 12, 13, I was probably the most dedicated human on the planet, in my opinion. I'd wake up at 5 every morning at like 11 years old, do abs for an hour, eat food. Yeah.
Okay, on that topic, like, were you chubby? What age were you? When did you lose fat? Because you went through that cycle.
Yeah.
Of like,
so I was fat as fuck till I was 10.
Fat rip, basically.
I was fat as fuck till I was 10. My dad was a pro soccer player, and he kept making jokes going like, yo, if you're 14 and you still look like this, I'm walking you on a treadmill with me. I don't care if I have to strap you on my back.
Nice.
And then I think it was like partly because I wanted to prove it to him, and also because I was 11 years old. We were in a school play, and there was this beautiful girl.
Nice.
And 100%, man. And in my mind, I said, fuck. I was like, there's no way I would attract that girl looking like this. So I got to change. And it all just started one day. I remember it was one night. I've tried dieting and stuff before. I told myself, I told myself that one night, I was like, if I can do a 30-second plank, if I have the mental ability to do it, then I'll be able to continue this. For the first time, I'll actually try. And I remember setting up that plank, shaking, shivering, and I checked the timer, and it was like 2 minutes. I was so proud of myself. I was fat as shit, man. I was like 5'1", like 160 pounds, like 100% body fat.
100% body fat.
Yeah.
How much body fat? All of it.
You set your mind to that, and that's what kind of like unlocked that to you. Because if you didn't do that, you wouldn't have had the confidence in yourself to be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to commit to this, right?
100%. You probably wouldn't have the discipline to be putting in 10 hours of editing. You wouldn't have the discipline of launching the book, having it flop for that first initial launch, compared to what it did now, and then but still pushing and be like, no, it's gonna work.
So did you get jacked and get that girl?
I
got jacked,
and I was still a pussy throughout. I did not get that girl. I did not. I think I'm very natural. Like, I'm good at talking to people.
Yeah.
But up till probably a year ago, I was terrified of talking to women, man.
Really?
Why?
I was a bitch, dude. I was a bitch.
It happens, though. Nobody teaches you that, right? There's not a course. There should be a course in school how to talk to the opposite sex.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that my school taught me that I now look back and go, fuck, I wish I was never taught this.
Yeah.
And it was about consent. Oh, let's get controversial.
Oh, no.
Oh, let's get controversial. No.
Guys, he's just joking.
You wish you were never taught this?
I wish I wasn't taught it in this framing. You can clip it however you want. I hope someone watches the full version, because you're not, I don't want to get Andrew Tated here. But in our section health education class, we had a teacher who taught us like the value of consent. And I very much, obviously, the value of consent is super important. But he taught us in such a hyper way. He told us that he would ask his children for consent to hug them.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And it was so far.
That's a little bit too far.
Right?
Is that a private school thing?
No, I think it's just like, honestly, I think that's like part of the propaganda that's being pushed, right? Like,
I guess it's because he's younger, because I never got taught that.
I've heard of it.
I think it was just this teacher. It was just this guy.
I heard of it.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
But that and other stuff that like the education system will teach you, like it just got me scared. I was like, I'm gonna get me too, even if I want to ask a girl on a date like a gentleman, like a regular human
you gotta
being.
ask for the consent. You gotta consent to consent. It's
Exactly.
Like, it's just too much now, man.
Yeah, dude. Like literally with my first girlfriend, oh my god, like there was times where I'd ask for consent.
To like hold her hand.
Yeah, stuff like that, bro.
Can I hold your hand? Like, bro, like.
But that's the scary
intense.
landscape that's been built for dudes, right? Because I'm fucking terrified of messaging girls or talking to girls. That's why I even said on the last one, I'm like, I will never outwards DM you because then you're gonna get that girls take it as like get that reputation of the guy's a piece of shit. He just messages a bunch of girls, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can take it any way. I think the best thing to develop for any young man or just any man who doesn't have this skill yet is develop the ability to cold approach. And something I'm still developing now, but recently I got into it, and I think it is confident building. It teaches you like the traditional way of how your parents met, probably.
What's your pickup line?
I don't have a single one. I just
depends on
the best advice I'll give any guy who's I'll never make fun of you because I know a lot of guys like this and I understand where it comes from, like being raised in this society, this way is modern society. Oh, it's so bad. Is some guys can't even make eye contact with a girl. So I will say it like this: do it like especially if you work out, treat it like a gym thing. So you got to overload. So step 1, how to talk to girls, how to get yourself the confidence to talk to women. Step 1 is practice the eye contact. Yeah. So 1, you got to leave your house. If you're at your house just sitting there not doing anything,
you're
like this ain't gonna work. Yeah. But step 1 is you got to just make eye contact with women that you find attractive, and I would say hold the eye contact until they break it. But with all these steps, tell yourself that you don't need the end result. A win, a W is not getting her number. A W is not taking her on a date. A W is not bringing her home on that day and having sex with her because you made eye contact with her. Yeah. The W is just making the steps. Yeah. So step 1, practice for like a week or 2 weeks or until you have the confidence. I say no more than 2 weeks. It shouldn't take more than 2 weeks. It's just every single day you go out, you make eye contact with someone who you're attracted to. Step 2, go up to someone you're attracted to. So now that you can actually make the eye contact, go up and ask them, like you can ask them like a borderline, like stupid, like brain dead question. Like if you're at the mall, you can be like, you know what this time this mall closes? Like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like you should know, bro. But trust me.
I like that one.
Just
to break the ice. Just to get the practice in.
Get the practice of just talking. Get the practice of just talking. And once you do that for another 2 weeks, you can slip in like complimenting them about something that's not their physique, right? You don't be the guy who goes, I'm like, oh, I love that ass. Yeah, like, come on, brother. Go up, give them a genuine compliment. Could be their outfit, could be their sense of style, could be just their presence.
Jaden, you taking notes?
Jesus.
I think a lot of guys are scared to do that because it might come off as creepy, and you know what? It might come off as creepy to some women, but just know that those are the girls that you don't want.
Yeah.
And I guarantee if you're at that step, you have the confidence to even do it now.
Even one step further, man, when I was like really anxious with talking to people, I would just talk to people at like literally people who worked at stores and ask them a question. Hey, where's like the basketballs or like some shit? Because I was even scared to do that at some point.
Yeah.
Man, right. And like you get in your head about like what is that person gonna think about you when they honestly don't give a fuck about
Exactly.
you, right?
Like
So,
you don't. And the thing is, it's the best way to, like, in my opinion, to get girls to keep thinking about you is like you gotta polarize in some way. Like, be very out. If you say something absolutely stupid, not offensive, but absolutely stupid, they're gonna remember that.
Yeah.
You know, they might have a negative connotation, but it might be positive, and they'll keep thinking of, hey, that one guy at the mall was just such an idiot. I wonder what he's doing. I wonder what he's like. So yeah, and I think those steps, and eventually, you know, giving a compliment and just chatting about something that you might have a common interest in, and then asking for their number, that's those building up steps is like the gym.
Progressive overload.
Yeah, you can't expect to go to the gym and bench 4 plates on your first day. Same thing. You're gonna be learning. You go to the gym, you're gonna be learning where everything is.
You gotta do the bar at first, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I love the steps, man. Growing up, like, did you get that type of advice from your parents, or like did your dad talk to you about that kind of stuff, or like how did your dad teach you how to pick up girls?
No, never.
Okay, cool. Is it conservative?
Never.
How's the relationship with your dad and your parents?
To me, very positive.
Mom was your best friend.
Mom's my best friend. Dad is also my best friend. Cool. When I was a kid, my dad was my superhero. When I was ages 1 to 6, my fucking superhero. So my parents are divorced. Oh my god, my parents are divorced. This is so fucked, man.
It turned out perfectly, man.
You should clip it and like cut it up and like okay. So
We will clip that.
We can get him to edit this one. Actually, he's gonna rock it.
Yeah, so I grew up. My parents were divorced. They were like officially divorced when I was 15, but I always thought they were divorced, like since I was born, basically. Like there was lots of arguments and stuff, but they were very good to me as parents. I think.
Were they already separated at that point, or just a lot of arguments?
They were separated when I was like 5 years old.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
So different houses though.
no, so that's the thing. That's one thing about my father, besides him being a stubborn bastard, is the masculinity traits he taught me through his actions, I think were super valuable, and which was hard work and dedication. This guy worked, when he came to Canada, we're from Hong Kong, he worked 3 jobs a day. No. I'd see him leave at 6 a.m. and come home at like 10:30 and just get that little bit of sleep and go back and out and get it again. He taught me that hard work like pays the bills, right?
Yeah.
Other things, the not so masculine things that my dad taught me that my mom tried to teach me, but I think my father taught me well. It was like how to love and be grateful and how to give your appreciation and like really surround people with love. He had the feminine qualities that my father had were so like, it was just that he was just so loving. He would show his affection to me all the time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's hard.
That's
We don't see that in immigrant
I was
parents.
gonna say,
Right?
Yeah,
'Cause,
like
like, our-
don't see that kind of stuff.
in the Indian community, like the dudes are like really cold.
They don't say I love you.
They don't say that at
They
all.
say, hey, did you eat?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's basically I love you, right? But
My
they don't say
dad's it was always I love you, like
Awesome.
I dedicate my life to you, my son, like stuff like that. And the core memory I have of him that I'll never forget, that makes him a superhero in my eyes in some ways, was when we first came here and I went to a private school. But his side of the family, he was broke, super poor. He was an ice cream truck driver. And all the other kids in my school, like their dads was a lawyer, doctor. But I just, because I don't know, I was a fat kid, I thought that was fucking badass, man.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Like my dad drives around with ice cream and
Like,
shit.
all the kids love
100%. I had this fantasy that was like, my dad is
My
actually
dad
cool.
has the best job ever.
That is
Genuinely.
man, as a kid, like you're like, that's the happiness, right? Ice cream is happiness to kids.
100%.
So your dad controlled happiness.
For sure.
That's wild.
And this is the story. He was driving around in his ice cream truck, and this is how he got his current job that he's at now for the past like 15, 16 years, was because he was a pro soccer player in Hong Kong, but he had to give that up, like for my life, I think. I don't really know the story. But he came here, and he was driving around a park, and they were doing soccer practice. It was just like a team of kids, like a couple coaches, and he got out of his ice cream truck, turned off the ice cream sound, and he walked down and just stood there, like hands crossed, like the old guy, right? And he has a super thick Asian accent. He's like, your coaches is like not very good.
Yo, that's fucking fire.
And then they're
Yo,
like,
yes.
and then I'm probably getting it wrong a little bit, but the owner at the time,
Yeah.
he was like, excuse me, what did you say? Like I play soccer. He's like, I think I could come here teach you guys like good shit, man. And like they're like, go back to the ice cream truck, man.
Yeah. Have
he's
no clue that this guy's a fucking professional soccer player.
No clue. And he's
No
like,
fucking clue.
how about this? You let me try out right now. I do better than all your coaches. And then they're like, no, okay, you have to leave. We're going to call police. He's like, okay, give me a time and date. I'll come. He's like, we do private tryout. He's like, I'll teach you. Like, teach me? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
So they were so fed up with him being so stubborn. They gave him a time and date. And he actually showed up. And a week later, he was their head coach of their soccer camp.
Fucking sick.
Because he was just, that was
That's
his
the
skill.
hustle,
That's
though.
hustle.
That's
the hustle, man.
hustle. He
He
hustled. and got
created
that
the opportunity too. He went and
Yeah.
fucking grabbed it. He went and asked for it.
So yeah, that was the most masculine trait my dad taught me, was just the confidence and believe in yourself.
And just go ask.
And you know what's interesting? Because now I make all these videos, right? Like where I'm holding the camera in public, and I don't have that much of like a social filter, so I can do some stupid shit. But my dad used to film like a camcorder, like when we went on vacation,
Yeah.
and like he would vlog. This guy was the OG vlogger. This guy was the first vlogger before Casey Neistat, and he would vlog me, and I would just start crying. I'd be like, no, don't record me. I'm like, please. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, tell me you like the elephant ride. I'm like, no, fuck. Well,
Tell me like the
so, dude, I have no clue how I developed the skill to like actually enjoy being the one who does the camera now. Cause
It's completely flipped. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
It's
he still
fucking-
loves it, man. We
Does
go
he
out
still
to
do
dinner.
it? He's still.
Oh,
rocking
yeah.
Get your
vlogs?
dad on YouTube, man.
My dad's on the WeChat, you know?
Okay, yes,
WeChat,
yes.
right? So he would pull out his WeChat. He's talking to his girlfriend, to his friends. He's like, hey, guys. He's like, me and son, My son took me out for dinner. So loud in the restaurant. Everyone's.
He's like so proud moment, right? Proud as
Yeah,
fucking
he has
moment.
no filter in terms of social. Like he does. I don't think he cares what people think about him at
Fucking
all.
sick.
That's a
which is
hard trait.
badass.
Well, like he moved here from Hong Kong, right? There has to be a certain level of like I don't give a fuck
Confidence.
about anything because he probably dealt with like bullying and stuff too, right?
Well, he left a pro
Yeah,
job.
maybe. I have
man.
no clue. I don't know why he has just so much confidence in who he is in that type of aspect. I think it's because he grew up like so poor that this life that he's, because right now he's made it till he can afford. He financed a Tesla.
Nice.
He right now he still works for the soccer school. He drives Uber once in a while,
Yeah,
and
still hustling.
he's paying off a mortgage right now. Like one of my biggest dreams is to pay off his mortgage and buy him his own soccer school. That's my dream.
Nice.
Damn.
Personally.
Nice.
But this life I think is just like this is his millionaire life to him.
Yeah.
This life is the best he could have ever
Is he
dreamed.
is he a pretty fit guy too?
Right now, I call him fat. To me he's chunky monkey.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you
But
say it to him?
yeah, but 100% all the time I'll pinch his
Dude,
stomach.
I do that to my dad too, because like he goes in phases. Like wintertime, he'll actually like, go to the gym because there's
Yeah.
no golf. But summertime, he'll just golf and he just golfs and drinks and he gets fat. And I'm just like, Dad, like
So
fucking.
and his dad
lose
is not
weight."
his
I didn't know
dad's
your
not
dad
normal.
was white.
What?
He goes golfing. No, his dad is not your typical dad either. His dad has benched like three and a quarter type of thing.
Oh
right?
shit.
Yeah.
He was a
He's
big
fucking-
boy.
he's
Like
big.
he was a big boy back in the day, and that's who got me into it. Like he always used to have the muscle mags in the washroom.
Yeah.
I'm taking a shit and I like read it and I like read the training programs and stuff.
That's sick.
Yeah, so he got me into it. But yeah, my dad's like pretty much white, man.
I love it.
he
He's
listens
from
to
England.
ACDC.
He's from
and shit,
England, right?
like,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
He's from England, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my
So-
mom's from England.
What part?
I don't remember. Probably Essex, somewhere like that. Her accent's horrific to me. It's half Chinese, half English. It's fucking made me
Oh,
make fun of
shit.
you.
That's kind of interesting though.
Yeah.
Do that one. Do that accent.
My mom's is like, I just hear it as screams because like when we talk, it's very loud. You know?
She's just screaming at
Damn it! Damn it! Oh, I'm gonna kill you! Fuck you, Damien! And she swears at me like. It's
Sounds
great,
like
it's
our
great
boy
fun.
here, man.
Holy shit.
So is your dad? So he's fatter.
I'd say he's probably less body fat than me right now. He's a pretty fit. Like he still runs every day to do soccer,
good.
right? He
Yeah.
works out.
Good.
He is decently fit. I can see a bicep vein or two.
Ah, shit.
But I just call him
Ah,
fat.
shit. Yeah. Just put him
but
in
yeah.
place. Cool.
Still athletic.
Yeah.
That's
So
like
he's
55.
coaching. So he's obviously disciplined. How about your mom? Let's talk about your mom. What does she do?
So
What type of influence does she provide for you?
So my mom also taught me she taught me a lot of like spirituality and love and that type of stuff
Energy
too,
and
right?
things like that.
Pardon me?
A little bit more into like the energy side and things like
100%.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's a spiritual person, you know, like
Sick.
you know what they say, chicks love their astrology. My mom loves her astrology. I
She
think
like tarot cards and stuff.
fuck no, she thinks that's stupid.
Oh shit.
But for some reason
That's
she believes
fucking
where
wild.
I'm, when I'm born is how I'm
That directly correlates with that shit, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, I do. I don't want to
It does.
I
But it's
don't
like,
believe in
you know,
any of
it's
that
not,
crap.
It's not the full
That's
fucking
not real.
story.
Come on.
Well,
But it's a
did
good excuse to use. Be like, oh, I'm a Pisces. Like, this is why I'm angry today.
Yeah.
Yo,
It's just he's just an
Playbook-
Aquarius. That's why he's got multiple
playbook
girlfriends.
move if you're getting into a relationship with a girl that's into that shit, like tell her the sign that you are, like tell her a sign that you're not, and then just like build that relationship 6 months later.
I didn't know I was that sign.
Yeah, or like, babe, I just read that I'm actually an Aquarius, not a Cancer. Fuck her whole mind up. You'll
Don't
kill
do
her
that.
world.
No, don't do that.
Yo,
That's
she'll
hilarious.
rethink every situation she's ever been in.
April 4th.
No,
Don't
why
tell
would
me
you
the
bout it
stars.
now? You can't use that play anymore.
It's okay.
Nah,
Girls
it's
don't watch these podcasts, right?
No, they do. All right, they watch our podcast. They're definitely gonna watch this one.
Great. I love
We talk
it.
about your ex. We talk about your sign.
Yeah, we can keep talking about everything, man.
Talk about
my
money?
sign, yeah, of course.
Should we go back to the traumatic stuff?
Yeah, sure. So I can't like personally, I don't want to speak too much on like the specifics.
Yeah.
But I had a childhood trauma from the ages of like the like I had this thing happen to me. That was like mentally so fucked up that I didn't realize was fucked up until
Till
now.
afterwards. Okay.
That happened to me when I was like 6 years old, and I think that put like, as you say, like from ages like 1 to 7, right, is how your shape developing, and it's so hard to break out of that routine. But that dictated so many like negatives of my life, and that trauma lasted from like I think like 6 to like 18 years old. So I had 12 years of this ongoing like miniature family trauma thing. And I didn't like genuinely until now I didn't realize like how bad it kind of fucked me up as a person.
How did you? What were your strategies to get out of it? or to reprogram your mind.
Well, how'd you find out that like?
Yeah.
How'd you find out?
How'd you know it was a
first
trauma,
that,
I
hey, it's
guess?
actually a problem that shows up in my life.
Whoa. No. So I was going out with this girl, and then after, it was probably like the most like emotionally traumatic breakup I had, and that's kind of launched me into a lot of the self-development, but also launched me to like researching like, yo, like why am I such a simp for this chick? Like why am I so like, how come like if I just meet a girl and like I fall in love with her, like why do I do that? Why do I do this? And I wanted to research because I was like, I was like so heartbroken and shit that I was like, dude, I have to figure this shit out for myself because I can't let this happen again, because it started to affect my business. It started to affect like how I mentally like make my work and everything, and like my employees, and like I can't be the guy who lets one chick fuck up his whole business. That's sad, right?
Yeah, we got our opinions on that, bro.
Yeah, that
It happens. It
so
truly
many
happens,
times,
yeah.
right? And like, if you don't, nobody's taught that either in school, like how to deal with a heartbreak that could fuck your whole life up, right? So it's like, it's a tough situation, man.
So why were you simping over her? Did you figure that out?
Pardon me?
Why were you simping over her?
Yeah. So I figured out that
Trauma bonding
plus, like, I mean, we can get like I learned so much about that shit that I love it now. Like that type of psychology research is fucking insane to me. I love it. I think it's so interesting.
so useful too.
But super useful, and it keeps me sharp, and like, because I've been in other relationships after, and like I catch myself doing these like anxious things that now I think through self-improvement, I'm just not really anxious about girls that much anymore. Like I keep my phone on like do not disturb, and I only text like the girls I'm seeing like back like when I have time. But it also made it so now like if I'm with a girl, like I give her like my full presence and full love. I don't believe in the red pill, like, oh, like don't text back until 6 days later.
There's
Make
no
her change.
rules. Yeah, no, I
No,
don't do that.
don't play those games, man. Just if you're on self-improvement and you're truly developing your mental character, you will, one, attract the people that you actually want to attract to.
100%.
Two, you'll weed out the people you don't. And three, you'll be able to navigate the difficult situations that you've had in the past. So yeah, anyways, the first girl, I simped over her so badly that it was like to the point where I was so like in the fantasy blue pill that in my mind I wasn't simping over her. I would ask this girl, and she had like a very masculine trait of like hard work. Like she worked from like 6 till 12 every day basically.
Damn.
But I asked her like, oh honey, like what time are you like finish your work? Like maybe I could like come pick you up. I can bring you like a hot meal. I could take you back to my place and like give you a massage. And in my mind, I'm like, that's just what a good boyfriend does. Now I realize maybe not in the beginning stages. Like, yeah, sure, everyone's relationship is different. But bro, you can't be doing that when you just meet a girl. Like I basically just met this girl. Like 2 weeks later, I'm like doing all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And
It depends. So once again,
it
there's
depends.
no rules.
There's no rules.
There's
No,
no
but I
rules.
think like that.
But I think
holds
you're
some
right.
weight, because like if you do that, then like what's the difference between you doing that to every
You're just
single girl?
chasing.
That's true.
How do you know she's worth it to give your all to her?
Exactly. And because personally, I take everything as my fault. Like it's my, like everyone has their
Accountability.
faults.
Extreme ownership.
Extreme ownership. It's I take accountability like fully. Like I don't want to say what I did was wrong or right. There's no polarity in that sense, but that was shit that I need to learn how to do, because it's something that you got to learn. And basically, I think the root cause was as a child I had all this trauma that I didn't really know was affecting how I grew up.
Yeah. And this relationship, obviously.
Yeah. Have you guys heard about attachment styles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very briefly. So him and I love psychology.
Yeah,
I love
sweet.
that.
Let's
voice.
chat it.
And anxious
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
So now,
Which one are you?
well, I feel like now I've developed a very secure style of human nature, but it used to be the most anxious, super, super anxious attachment. And I mean, I shifted through phases in my life. Like with that first girlfriend, I was super avoidant. Like, like she would text me. And so basically how it works, like quick rundown, is like the ages like 1 to 7, 1 to 6. How your parents treated you will dictate how you are. And I like to use these attachment styles as not only for your love life, but like for your business life and for like just how you
friendships
interact
and
with people.
everything.
Friendships, everything. It's everything, man. So typically if your parents were super, like if they were like abusive and distant and they didn't show you an abundance of love, you would grow up as an avoidant person, because you would have this feeling inside, like especially if like you had a parent that like passed away, or you had a parent that was like abusive to you, you would have this wall that you put up that whenever good people come into your life or people that show you a lot of love, you would never, you'll never let them get through that wall. And if they get through that wall even a little bit, you push them away. You pull yourself away.
Yeah.
And if you had parents that would show you an abundance of love, but it was like sporadic and like they would distance and sporadic, because as a kid your brain isn't developed enough to understand that things aren't your fault. Like as a little kid, even when you're 1 and 2, you're not really cognitive. You're subconsciously thinking everything that your parents do is your fault. So like my parents, when I was younger, they would show me like a super big abundance of love, but then they would pull it away, and then they would show me a super big abundance and then pull it away. And that as a child made me subconsciously think it's my fault that they're leaving, it's my fault that they're not showing me love right now. And like the third one, well, there's 4. The other one's like fucked. But the third one is like the secure style, and that's if you had parents who were consistent in the way that they loved you, and stuff. So I noticed, like I was super anxious, and there was like a point where like when I would enter into relationships, like at first I'd be super okay, but if they did something that would like trigger that deep wound and core, and it could be just something that they would say or do that would remind my subconscious child mind of how my parents treated me, and it basically makes you feel like you're a little kid again. Like you don't want to, but you'll resort back to that.
Yeah,
it's primal. It's human.
It's just subconscious, right? So
it's very subconscious.
it's just your inner triggers and things like that.
Yeah.
How do you work on that then?
So
step 1 is being aware of it.
Yeah, step 1 is be aware. I mean, the easy route is get fucked up and then realize how bad it is and be like, oh, okay, I have to work on this. But
don't want to do that again.
Yeah, I think the typical self-improvement things, and these are the best self-improvement things that I've done, will not only help with that, but it'll help with managing your like depression, managing anxiety, managing everything. So these are things that I do, and I've learned them through just like books that I've read, through YouTubers that I watch, and just like articles. And like now, instead of consuming like degenerate mindless content like my own, I'll just watch like self-improvement stuff, and like that's my podcast for the day. But the things that I've done that I think help with everything, so gratitude journaling. So I wake up in the morning now, because honestly until a month ago, I think for the past 2 years I was completely depressed. 100%. So depressed. Like I had an abundance of wealth, I had an abundance of followers and everything, and there was never a real day where I would get up and truly love what I was doing. And I saw myself as like a complete shell, like a complete bitch. I was disappointed in myself.
A little bit of imposter syndrome.
A little bit of imposter
like
syndrome.
The person, and you don't. So it's shocking to me that was kind of overcome just last month, because like when you came into the room, like your enthusiasm, your energy did not speak any of that. So you did a great job.
But you probably had the same personality when you were depressed, right? To the outside world.
A little bit, but it got like, since probably the end of 2022, like the last quarter, it got so bad where I couldn't even fake it anymore. I stopped posting videos consistently. I just could not do it. I would talk to people in the gym, with close friends. And one thing I think is really important for self-development is as a guy, you have to find like a chosen brother or two. I have 2 chosen brothers that I can tell anything to. And there's this theory that you should never tell your woman or the girl that you're seeing like your vulnerability. I kind of believe in it personally. There's like, it's wishy-washy, right?
I'm married, and been married and been with her since 2009.
Beautiful.
And there are vulnerability can be powerful when used correctly. You can't be vulnerable all the time and expressing and complaining and expressing, oh, I'm sad today. You can't do that. But when you're 9 times out of 10, this alpha male, masculine man, and then that one, I've cried for my wife many times, cried in front of him a couple times probably, right? But those are brief moments where I show my vulnerability, because that's what I truly feel at those moments. That's when it's powerful.
It's honest.
Because it's honest, it's real, and it's not.
I agree
all the
with him too. Is like, if you're always like, people say it's okay to talk about your problems with your girl, but if you're always doing that, you're gonna in her eyes, she's gonna know what to manipulate, and then also she doesn't want to see you like that.
Exactly. No, that's what I mean. Where it's like 9 times out of 10, you're a certain way.
Yeah, sure, do it once in a while. Like if something that could bond you guys to, I think bonding experiences, like traumatic experience, going through them together will make you so much closer. Like you and Seema are so close because you guys have been through so much, right? Exactly. But if you're gonna go through those things and you're not gonna show anything, it might get convoluted, and like she might feel weird that you have zero emotion.
Yeah, no empathy.
Yeah,
right.
I think it doesn't matter if she's the best-hearted, souled woman in the world. if you're showing vulnerability, but also not presenting solutions or making her understand that you will get through it and you're just the guy who's complaining, she will lose attraction.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I think, an interesting thing that I heard is the average divorce age, I think in like North America for men is around like 41. The average suicide age is 42. So you can be with that woman for years and years and years. And hopefully she's a beautiful soul, great person, matches your energy, gives you so much. It's like spirituality and love. But if you're constantly being vulnerable in terms of like making her life worse, and complaining, like of course shit's gonna hit the fan. In
Naturally,
your life,
women want to feel protected.
for sure, 100%. And
they want to feel like naturally,
They
right?
wanna feel like the guy
Generalizing, they're
knows
gonna
what he's
feel like the
doing,
guy is taking control
Yeah.
and being the person, the provider, right? And I say that generally, that doesn't mean because we get chopped up and we get people on TikTok saying, "Hey, you guys are misogynistic" and blah blah blah.
this is misogynistic.
This
that-
is
oh.
this dude.
This is what they
cool.
label, man.
I love it. Then
This
I'm
is misogyny, I guess.
that's
from-
misogyny.
That's
I'm
what
a
they
misogynist.
they define it as, right? But what I'm trying
But
to
they
say
don't have
is,
to go through it too. It's usually like some random username who probably
exactly
hasn't
user
been through it.
374. Fuck you, man.
Cool. I mean, this is the stuff that I would talk about in my podcast, like, openly, honestly. That's how I think.
But this
about
is how I think, man. Like generally,
But you're allowed to have your opinion, whether or not that goes against society's opinion.
Yeah.
That's just so far from what we're talking about, right? Like, difference of opinions. Without them, societies would collapse, as we always say,
100%,
right? So we love talking about things like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you hear anything about us? Did you research us at all? before
No,
you
man.
came?
I just came
Okay.
in cold and blind. Like I
That's
kind of
the
know who you
best.
guys are for
that's
sure,
the best,
right?
Yeah.
But I'm just here to just talk as much as you guys want.
So how did the sponsorship go, like with Young LA? Because I know you rep their stuff. Like, how did that go?
So I was with another company before, and it didn't align in terms of like I didn't like.
Can
They
you
were
say
the
who it
first
was?
company I was with. I probably shouldn't, but they can figure out if they go through my old videos. Like, come on, it's easy to figure out.
Yeah.
It was a childhood company that I really loved, and blah 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 blah, and they were great, but that was my first experience being with another company, and I'll say being with Young LA has taught me how you should be treated when you're being sponsored.
awesome.
So I reached out to them at 70,000 followers. And
70?
Yeah, 70,000. I was so scared at the time because they had guys like Chris Bumstead, like the
Yeah,
most popular
top man.
most popular bodybuilder in the world, right? And all these big guys that I was like, okay, like why the fuck do I deserve to be on? I was like, I don't look as good as the other guys that they have. I don't get as many comments. Like my videos are so cringe. Like why would they want me? But then I started shifting my mindset and thinking, wait, I'm just so different from everyone they have on the roster.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, they should have me on the roster. I will bring them something that they will not have. So I reached out to them and I got all my followers to
Tag them.
tag them, to message Gary, the owner, the CEO. And it was a spiritual experience because I did it on like in the morning of one day. I'll never forget because that day we were celebrating the first $10,000 month. This was in January.
Nice.
And that night when we were having dinner at like the fancy restaurant, and I was like getting bottles of wine from my friends, like just my two friends who helped me work on the projects. I got the text back right when dessert came. I was like the perfect end to the night, and we were just freaking out.
What did the text say?
WID.
It was just the owner Gary. Like he's so funny to me, but he was just. I wrote this whole paragraph like, oh my god, I love the brand, blah blah. I'll try so hard to. He said, let's do it, bro. That's how you know he's CEO top G.
Dude,
type of guy.
man,
That's
I'm a
sick.
man of I'm a man that talks a lot but I type very little. And we were going through this another side project of ours, and we had to fill out a bunch of information. And this is where we started to notice more about ourselves. He's more creative.
Yeah.
And we can both talk up the room. But when it comes to like answering questions, I'm just like, just fucking get it done, bro. And he's like, no, let's just elaborate on this. Let's do this.
I do writing as like hooks and stuff too. It's kind of like film.
Yeah.
You write the hook, you write the couple plots, you write the
That's how it
climax,
is.
He nailed it.
the problem in between the and then the solution. Like, and we write like that. It's telling stories, and it does way better, right?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the people who watch or view it like feel special.
Yeah.
But
But this guy's like,
So
I
I'm
love the
more of a, like,
stoicness
yeah, let's
of
do it,
Gary.
bro.
'Cause-
That's
'cause-
something I would do.
yeah, well, because I met him in person. I've seen him on podcasts, and he's genuinely such a sweet soul of a person. Like he built this company from I don't know what their annual revenue now is, but like it went from nothing to now I would say, the biggest company in fitness.
Yeah.
And soon will be one of the biggest in just men's lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah.
It is because it's streetwear now too. Like I
Yeah.
love the brand like crazy. Like
I love it, man.
I was gonna wear something today, then I was like I completely forgot.
All good.
I ordered a bunch of stuff on their
I'll
winter
have to bring
drop.
some.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
have to bring
Do
you
it up,
guys
man,
some.
yeah.
I got an abundance.
Nice.
But yeah, in person, he's just like, he has so much passion and drive and dedication. Like this, for him, like this is his magnum opus. Like he works every day relentlessly on this. And I think, I don't know him too well, but just the energy I got from him when I met him in LA and he invited me over to the warehouse was like, he's like a father figure basically, right?
How old is he?
I have no idea. How old are you, Gary? Like 30? Less than 30? Oh, no, he's 30. I think he just turned 30 last year.
exactly.
That's amazing, man.
fucking
To build a
crazy.
brand at that age.
Yeah.
It's him and his brother Robbie. They kill it.
Where do you see this going now? I mean, you're building this following that's massive. I can see you hitting 1 million soon.
For
like-
me personally,
Yeah.
well, I think now that I've like worked so much on the self-development stuff and I'm still working on it, I think now I've basically unlocked like boundaries, like unlocked those boundaries. Like now I can actually start pushing toward the 1 million followers and like truly know that I can get it by the end of the year. I know I can. I have this one idea. This is my magnum opus. I know it'll fluctuate and change as we script it differently, but I have this idea and hopefully it launches at the end of this year or the beginning of next year.
Right.
But it's this travel series. And it is this series on YouTube that I think can potentially like make me one of the biggest YouTubers. If not, then I'll just set it on camera and I'll have to try
you
something
said it.
else.
Now you got to.
You don't fail if you don't quit. There'll be
But yeah,
something
but this one I think I almost have the belief of this one like I did with the cookbook. Like,
Okay.
I just have a belief. So what it is the general idea of every episode. Oh, someone's gonna copy it now. But basically, no, nobody's gonna.
They
do
can't
it.
copy you, right?
Nah,
They can't copy how you're gonna do it.
Yeah, we're gonna travel to almost every single country in the world, and then we are going to, like, there's two main objectives in the video. So one of my favorite YouTubers is the Nelk Boys.
Yeah.
It's this bunch of degenerate
I love them.
pranksters,
Yeah,
right?
we know them.
Yeah, I love them because of like how business tactic they are, and also like the flow of their video, and like how they're like they don't really give a fuck like to play the YouTube game. Like nowadays, every YouTube video if you watch, it's like today we're gonna be doing this, this, and this, and then they do that in the video. But like these guys, like they'll title their video something, and then the video will have, and that will only be like 10% of their video.
Yeah, and then I love their videos
Yeah,
too.
and I bet the retention on their videos is super high. Like I bet people just love them for them so much that they'll watch through the whole
just
thing.
ADHD central, right?
I think it's like because their audience loves them so much that their audience isn't that ADHD. Like they'll actually sit through their entire video just because those guys are entertaining and they build themselves up so much that they don't have to revolve an entire 26-minute video around one premise.
Yeah.
They'll show them some traveling and everything. So my series idea is a mix between that type of stuff and one of my favorite biggest passions is food. So we're gonna travel to every country in the world. We're going to find out through like the locals, like this mission one,
Yeah.
what like
The best
yeah,
restaurant.
what the most popular dishes, what the locals' favorite is, right? We're gonna try that, interview people. I'm not sure exactly. We'll script it out more, and then we're gonna show our lifestyle and stuff, and us having fun in those countries. But at the end of the video, the next objective of the video is I have to recreate that recipe the best I can in a healthy way.
Nice.
So now it's also marketing my fitness stuff.
Yeah.
But it's also
Damn.
there's a challenge, and I think what I like about it is it allows me to fail on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go to Italy, try their best carbonara, and actually make it successfully, right? Like, or maybe I will. But I think watching people fail and like the authenticity of that,
Yeah.
I love it. It also incorporates travel. Travel is one of the biggest niches that will just
Yeah.
never die out, in my opinion. Food, another one.
Another one that won't die out, man. People are
Yeah.
always excited about food.
So
And you get to travel the world.
And they-
and I get to
Exactly.
travel the world because, you know, I morally, and my mind might change. I might think of something better, but morally, I don't want to be another guy who copies Mr. Beast on YouTube. I don't want to be the guy who just, you know, what is up, guys? Today in this video, we're doing this. I get that it gets the views. I get that it gets the millions of views, but I don't see it building. Like, he's already at the top.
Yeah.
You can't keep chasing someone at the top. You have to shift your mindset and do it differently, or do it.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah, bring something new or bring something better. That's how I see it.
Awesome.
That's gonna be crazy, man. I think that, like, I definitely watch that.
Hell yeah.
I love travel,
This
man.
guy
I
loves
went to
travel,
Europe
so
by
yeah.
myself this.
I love
this
travel
year.
as well. I just
Yeah,
haven't traveled as
crazy.
much as you have.
And I'm sure as I get older and as I learn more, like maybe I won't even do this idea because I'll think of one that I love more.
Yeah.
But right now this idea I have like the passion and love for
Go
it,
for it,
so
yeah.
I think I'm gonna go for
Yeah.
it.
Fucking go for it, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But-
What I think we're getting close to the end here, right?
Yeah.
I didn't look at what time we started.
We would
No
have
worries.
normally asked you what type of advice we'd give you at a younger age, but you're fucking young as fuck. We'll ask you anyways. What would you give your
my
what,
younger
what
self?
would you say to your
There's always your younger self,
5-year-old
yeah.
self?
Yeah.
I say.
Well, I mean, I kind of do that on my on my Instagrams and stuff now.
Yeah.
Like I try to give advice to like guys who are around my age, maybe a little bit older or younger men, because
No, but what would you tell yourself right now?
me myself personally.
Yeah. What would you tell your 5-year-old self?
The purpose in life is fulfillment, but the goal in life is balance.
Yeah.
That's what. I
That's
always
fucking
say.
deep. I like
Yeah.
that.
That's
thought out.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just kind of thought of that on the spot. That's something I've been thinking about a lot. Is I find true happiness through doing things that are fulfilling and things that like I actually find drive from and drive me to wake up. But you know, everything you have to have balance, or you're not
sure.
gonna love everything the
Yeah.
way that you should.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you have any questions for us?
I do, but they're so boring in business stuff that we can
That's
talk
okay.
about them after.
All right, we'll talk about them after.
Yeah.
Again, bro, thank you for coming through.
No worries, I
There's still so
appreciate
much I know that we haven't talked about, and there's
Yeah,
still
I
so
can
much
talk
you're
for
gonna,
hours, man.
Well, you're
No,
gonna
we
go
would
through
love
so
to,
much in
man.
the next 5 years.
True.
Yeah.
We're gonna have you back on, hit that million, and
We'll get you back
Thank
on
you.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Thank
we
you.
wish you all the success in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
And we appreciate you taking the time
I
out of your day
appreciate
to,
you guys, man.
to come through, man. Yeah,
Genuinely,
love it.
thank you. Thank you
Awesome.
guys.